have good news. Are you ready to tune the fastest EVO? Get pumped! Adam wants to take me out. What do we have here? I'm trying to figure out how I can sabotage. Johan, don't do it.
He's doing it.
I've never not wanted them to succeed at something. I have good news about the EVO. So my car is not completely disabled like I thought it was in the last video because of the clutch. Let me explain. We bled the clutch and there was a lot of air in the system, and we are hypothesizing that because I don't have the shield vent piece that goes right here. I tried getting it off of Tommy from the front clip that he had at his shop, but he did not want to sell it separately. But because I don't have that piece, we're guessing that water from it sitting for so long got through here. Pointing down right there is the clutch sleeve. We're guessing a lot of water sat there for a while, caused it to rust, and then ended up maybe breaking a seal, and now air is getting into the system. And that would explain why when my car first had the blown turbo, like it was not that bad, and then after like over a month of sitting, the first time I drive the car, it's really, really bad. I'm hoping that is it and the slave is just bad, so I have a new one coming in. Now I do know that my clutch is on its way out. I've known that since I got the car. I barely launched on the street and the whole car reeks of clutch for like the next day. Quit being so dramatic. The clutch is on its way out, but the good news is it's not out right now and I can still drive this car. It was such a buzzkill finally getting the new turbo on, and then thought I wasn't going to be able to drive it. So at least I still can drive this car while I wait for a new clutch and a new slave to come in. That is such good news. And so today we are going to be making this thing more drivable and dialing in the tune with Freddy, since there is a new turbo on. Given it's the same one, it's still a stock EVO 9 turbo, but the car was tuned in Connecticut with completely different weather on technically a different turbo. So there's still things that we want to really dial in with the exact turbo that's on the car, and being in Florida. I'm just so glad I can drive this car while I wait for more parts to come in. Freddy was already looking at the tune and pulling some data last night when the car was at the shop. In case you guys forgot, I have the Haltech Elite 1500 plug-and play for the EVO on my car. This car so much. The one thing that has been driving me a little crazy lately though is that the cluster does not work, or it sometimes works, but it's very random when it actually does. The two things that do work, thankfully, are the temp and gas gauge. Other than that, it doesn't work, and especially when we're trying to dial in the tune, and just for me driving, like, I just want to know what my RPM is, like, speed fine, like, whatever. I got a radar that tells me that, but so that's been driving me crazy. I'm hoping to take a look at that and get that running. I'm really hoping that it's just wiring, or maybe a plug got loose. I don't know. I mean, this is an EVO 6 interior, so everything was swapped, including the cluster, which I love so much. And I also need to get these gauges working. These are super cool HKS gauges, and guess what? They don't work. They're just looking pretty right now. So a couple things we gotta get working. Oh yeah, and AC and radio doesn't work, so I need to look into those things too. And yes, I know this says to put your own photo in. Everyone keeps telling me that. I understand that. However, I liked this vibe. I love the neon colors. So I'm gonna take inspiration probably from this one and make my own from House of Pre. That is very similar styling. It just doesn't tell you to put your own photo in there. And we're here. Of course I'm here, and it's already like 4:30, almost 5 p.m. So maybe we can catch some light while we're on the street doing a few pulls for the tune. I'm pretty sure I just felt a drop of rain, and it kind of looks like it's gonna rain. So Hopefully that doesn't happen, but before we get in the EVO, Adam wants to take me out in the BMW. I guess him and Jordan worked on it a bit last night. I love this red interior so much. It's so pretty. But what should I expect? No bucking? At least no more like
Oh yeah, no, it's much better now.
Okay.
2 seconds later.
The car feels so much better now. And what do we have here? The Barbie 350Z. Funny enough, we're actually prepping this car now. Johan's getting it ready for Adam to compete in it tomorrow because his isn't going to be ready in time. That's going to be amazing. So I'm definitely going to film at the comp because he's going to be driving the Barbie car. Oh, it's going to be fun to watch. Johan, do you think everyone will think it's me? For a little while. We gotta get Adam a wig for tomorrow, like a blonde wig to come out underneath the helmet. Be good footage tomorrow for my driving reel. I'll put it on my resume, like, yeah, that was me, that was me. Freddy, are you ready to tune the fastest EVO in your entire life right now?
Not really.
Damn, that was very anticlimactic. Freddy, come on, get pumped. Freddy's jumping all up and down right now. You just can't tell. Everyone's still trying to fix Adam's car, and I don't want that. I want him to have to drive this in competition. So I'm trying to figure out how I can sabotage that car and make sure they don't get it fixed in time, so he has to drive mine. Johan, don't do it.
He's doing it.
Don't
do it. You gotta try one more thing.
Don't fix it. Come on, it's pointless. It's just a waste of time.
Find me the line, and then we have a equal chance.
So if I find a line before you fix it, we'll sabotage this one. Screw this.
This might not even work, so we gotta try this first.
This is like last hope.
I've never not wanted them to succeed at something more than I do now. One issue that this car has, though, that we have to figure out is the hydro. So watch. We got a big leak, and it's actually coming from the right side where it splits off for the dual caliper in the rear. The left side has already been replaced with a Drift HQ line, and now this side needs to be replaced because it's leaking from there. I have to try and find brake line somewhere. Johan, I found brake line to fix the pink car, so he has to drive mine in comp.
Oh, yeah? Well,
the brake line is right there.
Oh, no.
The brake line is right.
No. It's already done.
I don't know. I think that's risky. Hey, tune time. You said you already looked over some stuff yesterday?
Yeah, make sure our gear feels good. That's it.
No more boost? Damn. I wish any of my gauges actually worked. Or the cluster.
Or just the boost gauge?
None of them actually work.
Sweet.
Yeah, so let's ignore those.
Smells a little bit like coolant. I don't know if you have a leak, maybe.
There was like coolant everywhere. It's probably still just like
burning off.
Yeah. And third gear. I have to double clutch, so it's gonna be a little rough.
Okay.
It stuttered a little bit in second before I pulled to third.
We'll get a log, and if everything looks good in the log, then it could be like spark plugs or something. Okay. Like the spark plug gap, or if there's water in the boots.
There might be water. I forgot how much torque this car has.
Can you change your fuel pump? Your fuel pump.
Why? Why would you say
fuel
that?
pressure is dropping.
It's a DW400.
And then it could be
It's new.
maybe the wiring, the filter, but the fuel pressure drops up top. So I had to overcompensate up top with the injector because the fuel pressure was dropping. So if the filter's dirty, it can cause it, or the wiring to the pump if the pump doesn't
I feel
get.
like it might be the wiring. I think we messed with that a little bit.
I've done over 500 on a 400. To put it in perspective, the S15 runs 2 400s. We made like 1,000 on it,
So probably wiring.
yeah, wiring, or the pump itself could be leaking in the tank. The hose that goes from the pump to the hanger.
Yeah.
That hose could be leaking if the clamp's loose or something. I 36. So by red line, you're at 34 psi fuel pressure. So I had to compensate. If you look right here, this is where the pressure starts to fall really bad. I added a bunch of fuel here, just in case you do floor it. At least it's safer. But
yeah,
I really wouldn't floor it too much more until
that's checked out.
Yeah. And if you do floor it, lift by 6,000 where your tach
Which
doesn't work.
I have to feel. When it feels like 6,000, then lift.
So what I did is I overcompensated the injectors a lot.
Yeah.
So the air fuel is fine, but the pressure is dropping, so it's not right. It's not gonna, I don't want to say it's not gonna blow up. It can get damaged, but let's not find out why.
Yeah.
Or let's not do it.
I feel like when I'm doing a normal pull anyway, like I said, I shift earlier because the turbo falls off so hard. So even though I can't see when I'm shifting, I'd never really draw it out to how we just did in second gear. Okay, thank you. I bet it's probably wiring. Well, you heard it. Doctor's orders. No crazy pulls, which really is just getting to limiter is where we start to lose fuel pressure. But that's fine. I usually end up shifting quite a bit before that just because this turbo hits super hard down low and falls off up top. So I don't think I'll have any issues with that, even with my cluster and tach not working right now. I should still be shifting early enough to not risk anything. We're pretty sure it's the wiring. It's either the wiring to the pump or just the pump not getting the power that it needs through like the stock connections. So we might have to take wire and make our own harness from the battery straight to the back. Maybe I'll end up relocating the battery to the back anyway. Gotta figure out those options, but at least it is safe to drive and still have fun with on the road. Adding another thing to check out to the list. I don't think it's the pump at all. The pump I have in here is the DW400 by D-Schwartz, which is rated for well over the power that I'm making. Even Freddy said he's run a DW400 at over 500 horsepower before, so I'm not worried about it being the pump. At least the car is more dialed for street driving, and I have a cooler idle, a little more lope in there. You know, we just added a little bit more spice at idle, which is cool. So big shout out and thank you to Freddy for looking over the car and adding things to my to-do list. Also, Buzzkill, I guess they got Adam Z working, so he's no longer gonna drive my car tomorrow in the comp. That would have been so awesome. That's missed opportunity. I think he would have had more fun in my car. So happy to be driving this thing again. I know I've probably said that like a million times, but really I've been so excited about the EVO on this channel, and now I can officially start working on it again. We now have the tune touched up. We got a new clutch and a new slave coming in the mail. We also now are going to be checking the wiring to the fuel pump and either adding a relay back there or just making a new harness directly to the pump from the battery. In addition to all of that, I am so ready to start on the cosmetic mods for this car. I already have a livery and everything picked out. Now it is in tribute of another type of EVO, a certain special edition